Hare Krishna. Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namo Vishnupadaya Krishnaprishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharine Nirvase Shunyadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gauravinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. So we were discussing on this important purport after 40. We thought we'll discuss more on this today. So, yeah, 43. So, why did he tolerate such injustice and insults in his presence? Why did he not chastise Kurus immediately when Draupadi was insulted? So, this before purport also is very important. So, this we decided to discuss this some important points on this about the calamities and all. Then Kunti Maharani, when she is saying about calamities, Vipada Santuta Shashwat Tatra Tatra Jagadguru Bhavato Darshanam Yasyada Punarbhava Darshanam. This is actually logically, it's it looks illogical. It defies the common sense. So it is an extraordinary way. She uses Vipada as the Sampada. It means it's a wealth, it's a treasure. So why here Vidra also we can see that he is also accepting it as a treasure and he's moving on ahead. So in essence, is telling Kuntimara is telling, O teacher of the entire world, all the dangers and trials that you have sending me have turned into my wealth and keep sending me more and more. Let's say, what is this prayer? What is there is no common sense in this. But which sane man would ask God to send more dangers into the life? But even whatever difficulties we have, we are not able to sincerely thank Lord for the difficulties He's sending. When we try, we are not very convinced as this important. So when such an expression of gratitude for sent the difficulties, it is better to remain silent. And so because now there is uh, there are some people which when they come in this situation, they are actually very grateful. And he says that there are some courageous words of some people which come somewhat close to the prayers of Kunti Maharani. So there is Pope Leo I. He addresses uh, the Lord, the ruthless leader. Actually, he addresses the king, the ruthless leader of the Huns, has come to invade Rome. With he says that hail Attila, the scourge of God. So, according to legend, Attila was flattered by these words and pacified. He turned back with his army, and thus the Rome was saved. So, however, Pope Leo I did not ask God for more tests, although he was grateful enough not to reject that which was sent to him. But even this courage is very rare. Most people don't want anything bad to happen to them. Ultimately, as they say, that fish like the bottom deep and man looks from what is better. So, meaning we want to stay in a comfort zone and avoid undergo any tests or misfortunes. And hardly anyone sees mercy in these hardships. So, what is wrong with Kunti Maharani's prayer? This is, or what is the situation of Vidra? Is feeling grateful, or any devotees in that says. that it does not defy common sense. No, now we see there is a higher common sense behind this. That is the point here. She shares her experience of happiness, though it is difficult for us to grasp because we have no such experience. She's telling in Vipada, I am finding higher happiness because the goal of all human efforts is one, to attain happiness and to avoid suffering. So, two things, dukkha nivritti and sukha pravritti. We desire it, but different people have different understanding of what will make me happy. That is the point. So, their understanding rests on either their experience or faith, that certain things will make them happy and certain things will make me unhappy. So ultimately the same, because we cannot get experience without having some preliminary faith. So everyone has some experience of material happiness, right? Now this is why we strive for it. Now I ate something, or I saw something, I heard something, so I have experience of it, so I want to repeat it. The problem comes because material happiness is neither unobscured or eternal. So, moreover, we can call these all these experience of material enjoyment happiness anyway, because we have that experience. Now, can happiness be reduced to the relief which people feel when they are stuck with an itch? So, when an itch is there, I am scratching and I get some relief. So, the relief of that itching is what is my happiness. Now, is happiness at all possible in this world? And it's because the creator defines this material world as dukkhalayam ashashvatam. Now, this is the point. So, Prabhupada says material world is certified by the Lord in Bhagavad Gita as a dangerous place full of calamities. Less intelligent persons prepare palms to adjust to these calamities without, sorry, arrange plans to adjust these calamities without knowing that the nature of this place itself is full of calamities. Now, this is the point. Therefore, from time immemorial, intelligent people have searched an alternative happiness, one which is cloudless and eternal. So now, when because scriptures speak about raso vaisaha, sam evayam ladvanandam bhavati. So they say Lord is the reservoir of eternal bliss. When one reaches Him, he is filled with spiritual bliss. Now, when many of them are trying for this, many are called and few are chosen. Now, what prevents us from attaining this unobscured, pure spiritual happiness? The answer is very simple, because our hope to enjoy this material world. So, it is a hope that dies last. So, please try to understand this important point here. What is preventing us from getting the spiritual happiness? Because we have hope in the material happiness. It prevents us from concentrating on search for God, since it rests on an actual experience of some kind of happiness. Because I have some experience of happiness here, so I'm just continuing. That is very difficult to relinquish this happiness. And it is said that the conditioned soul sometimes personally appreciate the futility of sense enjoyment in the material world, and is sometimes considered material happiness to be full of miseries. So he appreciates them sometimes. However, due to strong bodily, this is Sukadeva Goswami says again, to strong bodily conception, his memory is destroyed, and again he runs after this material enjoyment, just as animal runs after a mirage in the desert. So this is from fifth canto Sukadeva Goswami says. So what is happening is stubbornly we go on chasing the mirage of material happiness until we die of thirst. The hope of material happiness is what is making us not focus on spiritual quest. It robs our consciousness and its memory of God. That's why Krishna is telling Bhoga Ishwarya Prasaktanam Taya Aparata Chetasa. It is kidnapping our Cheta, Chitta. Vyavasayatmika buddhi samadhuna videyate. So now when Kunti is pleading Krishna, the adversities and dangers sent by you, O teacher of you, it is my greatest treasure, because that helped me to relinquish the illusion of material happiness. That is the point here. First, we have discussed previously, if you remember, when she is telling give calamities, that she is expressing her trust on Krishna. And also, the second point is she's telling relinquish the illusion of material happiness, and so that I can strive for you without any distraction. I don't want any material pleasure here. So that is the point. Now, what is the suffering sent by God? Krishna Chakra Thakur says it's like a ointment, an Ayurvedic ointment applied to eyes to eliminate cataract. Just as Anjana it is called, it causes a burning sensation, but it clears the vision. Similarly, suffering causes discomfort, but actually it is a restoration of our actual vision. If we unpack the metaphor, then we can see that the experience of material pleasure obscures our vision like cataract and prevents us from seeing the true nature of this world and from seeing God and feeling His mercy. Right? That means the adversities that come to us should be perceived as a cure sent by Lord. This is why Queen Kunti calls him as Jagat Guru, because he is the spiritual master. So Krishna sends us difficulties because he knows that we are sick and need of healing. So when a person becomes aware of being seriously sick, then he is willing to take any bitter medicine. So any amount of calamity, he understands a medicine only for me. And burning medicines because he knows I'll get cured by this. Our misfortune is what we do not realize that we are sick, and like foolish children, we are bargaining. We are actually scolding the Lord for prescribing such bitter medicines to heal. So our disease is forgetfulness of Krishna. That is the main disease. Bhayam ditya abhiniveshatasya ishadapetasya viparyosati तन्मायातो बुध abhajetvam bhakteika isha guru amananti. So this is bhayam ditya. We are seeing things separate from Krishna. That is the cause of it, right? So then there is a foolish attempt to be an autonomous, pleasure-filled sovereign. We are trying for all these things, but we have long inhabited this material realm without a uh, with, with a succession of material bodies, and we have identified ourselves each time with that body. And the only way we have survived such a pain, long standing separation from God, who is our integral part of our mm, sense of completeness, wholeness, and happiness, and everything, because this is because of our strong identification with the body. How? Because by forgetting Him. So, as such, Lord is the integral part of our sense, the wholeness of our sense. But because we forgot about Him, still we are able to survive. The disease of forgetfulness prevents our, actually perverts our memory. Bhayanditya abhiniveshatasya viparyayosmiti. It actually perverts our memory and crowds our memory. And then misfortune results of losing awareness of Lord and other things that continues this shloka. Then Prabhupada writes actually in one of the purport, the distress, the needy and the intelligence and the inquisitive who have performed some pious activities worship or began to worship the Lord. Others who have are thriving on misdeeds only regardless of status cannot approach the Supreme Lord due to being misled by illusion energy. Therefore, for a pious person, if there is some calamity, there is no other alternative than take the shelter of the lotus feet of Lord. This is actually what happens. So the bitter medicine of suffering is not easy for everyone. Some come out of it and some they become humble, their heart is rejuvenated, and they become more soft and receptive from the suffering. But others, they become very cruel and they other reactions come like that. So, so this is what with Krishna he describes those who turn to him in difficult situations as magnanimous. Udhara sarva eveti. They're magnanimous and they have so much sukriti also. And this is the advantage. Krishna is absolute source of love and he sends us his grace and he simply cannot have the faults that we conditioned souls have. So there are other points also we will elaborate on it. So here purport we will see some of the things how Vidura accepted, and this purport is also very important. Where the translation is, I am not astonished at this having traveled all over the world without being seen by others. The activities of personality of Godhead, which are like those of a man in the mortal world, are bewildering to others. But I know of his greatness by his grace, and thus I am happy in all respects. This is although he was brother of Dhritarashtra, Vidura was completely different. By the grace of Krishna, he was not foolish like his brother, and thus his brother's association could not influence him. Dhritarashtra and his materialistic sons wanted to falsely lord it over the world by dint of their own strength. The Lord encouraged them in this, and thus they became more and more bewildered. So, this is actually what happens. The living entity is more and more bewildered. But Vidura wanted to achieve sincere devotional service to and therefore became a soul absolutely surrendered to the absolute personality of God. He could realize this in the progress of his pilgrimage journey, and thus he was freed from all doubts. He was not at all sorry to be bereft of his hearth and home because he now had experienced that dependence on the mercy of Lord in a greater freedom than so-called freedom at home. A person should not be in renounced order of life unless he is firmly convinced of being protected by the Lord. This stage of life is explained in Bhagavad Gita as Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhi. Now, this is another important which I thought we would have to understand. It is all the reciprocation of our desire. If I want it, Lord is ready to give. What we have to do, we have to generate the desire more and more intense. That's the only thing we do, and the desire will come in the association. And it's not how much philosophy we learned, it is how strongly we develop the desire. Try to understand. It's not how much information. If somebody he just knows some basic philosophy that I am servant of Krishna, I had to go to spiritual world, I had to chant Hare Krishna. Now that devotee may not know all the intricate, very tough philosophy and very, very deep things of Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, but he has intense desire. I want to go to Krishna and is sincerely chanting. That's enough. So it is not that he need to read all the things. Everything will be revealed to him. He is very intensely chanting. I want to go to Krishna. I want to go to Krishna. That's all. And because he has that desire, he will be free from all the reactions, and he can. What is needed with all this philosophy and discussion is that desire should be developed. That I want Krishna in my life. Because we have some intellectual bent, some people are more analytical and all. For them, they need all these discussions. And some people are little emotional people. They want little more pastimes and little nice things to hear. But ultimately, everyone need to develop this intense desire to go back and back to God. That will make a difference. Because Kunti Maharani had that desire and she has faith in that. That's why she's not interested in material happiness. She says, okay, let there be calamities. That means my faith on this material happiness is not, let me lose the faith on this material enjoyment. Let me have faith in the spiritual realm. I want to go to spiritual world. So any difficulty comes in this world, it's based on how strong our mind, how strong is our faith. So based on that, we'll respond. So here, the stage of dependence is called sattva samshuddhir, or purification of one's existence. The result of such a purification is exhibited in fearlessness. So the faith is proportionate to fearlessness. To the degree we have faith, to the degree we are fearless. The devotee of Lord who is called Narayana Para is not afraid of anything because he is always aware of the fact that Lord protects him in all circumstances. With his conviction, Vidura traveled alone and he was not seen or recognized by any friend or foe. Thus, he enjoyed freedom of life without obligations too many. This is another very nice thing. Uh, like it's a distraction. Many of these family, friends, and all, it's a big distraction many times. We need only devotees. That is safe for us to focus on our goal. Otherwise, so many social obligations, this marriage, that function, this relative, that, this, so many things, and people don't have time only, unfortunately, for themselves. So this is all because they are caught up with this, all this mess. Don't need actually. Eventually, we have to cut all the things and be peaceful with devotees chant, and it looks like uh, it is not. We say if everybody does, how the world will run? Such questions will come. But fortunately, nobody will be like that. Very very few people will get that realization, and very few people will come out of it. That's why na, many are called, only few are chosen. So let us be that few. If we get that desire, that is very important. Living and you don't get desire only. That's why sadhus come again and again. By seeing them, we may get desire. We have to hear to get desire. Now, seeing Vidra, so nice, he's so free, traveling all the holy places. We should develop a desire. When will this day come? Kabe have obese dinam. All the money we are earning, all the savings we are doing is to only one thing, to go to Vrindavan and chant the holy name, fully concentrating on Krishna. If that is not happening, what is the point of making all this money and saving all the time and all these things? It does not make sense. The purpose is ultimately we have to reach Vrindavan. Either that is the point. So we earn, we do anything so that we can go to Vrindavan. That is what we all need. Ultimately, we all have to go to Vrindavan. Moravan, Vrindavan. People say my heart is, I lost my heart in Vrindavan. They wear the t-shirt. But it does not happen because we need to, that is what is being alone. We don't need anything. We need Krishna. Any opportunity, any reason comes, we should run to Vrindavan. That's how our heart should be. We should develop that. That should be our desire. When will I go to Vrindavan? When will I go to Vrindavan? That always the thought should come. So the desire should be in that direction. That is going to help. So Vidura all enjoyed freedom of life. This is, see, we all can enjoy. It's because we are develop all these obligations, we are stuck. It is not because of the people around. The reason is we are stuck. If we sincerely desire Krishna, I don't want all these things. I want you. For Krishna, it's fraction of time. He will change everything. But we are not desiring what Krishna can do. He's just waiting. It's So this is the point. In Prabhupada, when Lord Sri Krishna was personally present in the mortal world in this eternal blissful form of Shyam Sundara, those who are not pure devotees of Lord could not recognize him or know his glories. Vajananti Mamuda. So this is another point. Even Krishna comes in front of us, we don't know what to do now. Say, Krishna, you came, but I have my duties to do. My wife is there, my children are there. Some people may say, no, I'll ask Krishna, let him take me with him. But we can ask now also, because in our altar, Krishna is already present. Deity is there, photo is there. We can now also ask. Why are we not asking now? Because we don't want to go. Say if I ask, okay, Krishna, you just somebody knocked your door and you opened. Krishna came in the house. What you will do? First is okay, I'll serve him. Then I'll say, Krishna, I want to serve you and come to you to the spiritual world. We'll say, okay, that you can do now also. Every day we can ask Krishna that. How many times we ask Krishna, I want to come to spiritual world service. So, but the desire is not very strong. Despite his being the Lord and being always willing to relieve the distress of suffering, he, Krishna, refrained from killing the Kurus, although they committed all sorts of sins, although he saw other kings constantly agitating earth by their strong military movements carried out under the dictation of three kinds of false pride. Prabhupada writes, as declared in Bhagavad Gita, the Lord appears in the mortal world to execute his much needed mission of killing the miscreants and giving protection to the suffering faithful. In spite of that mission, Lord Krishna tolerated the insult of Draupadi by the Kurus and injustice perpetrated perpetrated against Pandavas as well as insult to himself. The question may be raised, why did he tolerate such injustice and insults in his presence? Why did he not chastise Kurus immediately? When Draupadi was insulted in the assembly by the Kurus by the attempt to see her naked in the presence of all, the Lord protected Draupadi by supplying an unlimited length of cloth. But he did not chastise the insulting party immediately. This silence of Lord did not mean, however, that he uh, excused the offense of Kurus. There are many other kings on earth who had become very proud. Three kinds of positions: wealth, education, and followers. So these are three types of pride: because of wealth, because of education, because and they are constantly agitating the earth by movements of military strength. The Lord was just waiting to get them together on the battlefield of Kurukshetra and kill them all at once, just to make a shortcut in his killing mission. Godless kings are heads of states who, when puffed up by advancement of material wealth, education, and increasing of population, always make a show of military strength and give trouble to the innocent. When Lord Krishna was personally present, there are many such kings all over the world, and he thus arranged for the battle of Kurukshetra. In his manifestation of Virat Purusha, Vishwarupa, the Lord expressed his mission of killing as follows. I have willingly descended to the earth in my capacity of inexplorable time in order to decrease the unwanted population. I shall finish all those who have assembled here except you, the Pandavas. This killing does not wait for you to take part. It is already arranged. All will be killed by me. If you want to become famous as a hero of the battlefield and thus enjoy the booty of war, then, Sachin, you just become immediate cause of his killing and thus take the credit. I have already killed all the great warriors, Bhishma, Drona, Jayadratha, Karna, and many other great generals. Do not worry, fight the battle and be famous as great heroes. This is Krishna. So Lord always want to see his devotees as heroes of some episode, which he himself performs. He wanted to see his devotee and friend Arjuna as a hero in the battle of Kurukshetra, and as he waited for all the miscreants of the world to assemble. That and nothing else is the explanation of his waiting. So why did Krishna wait, not punish when Draupadi was insulted immediately? Then he says next shloka, the appearance of Lord is manifested for the annihilation of the upstarts. His activities are transcendental and are enacted for the understanding of all persons. Otherwise, since Lord is transcendental to all material modes, what purpose could he serve by coming to earth? So, Ishvara Paramakrishna Satchidananda, the form of Lord is eternal, blissful, and all satisfying. His so called birth is therefore an appearance only, like the birth of the sun on the horizon. His birth does not, like that of the living entities, take place under the influence of material nature and the bondage of reactions of past deeds. His works and activities are independent pastimes and are not subject to the reactions of material nature. Naman karman impanti. So the activities of Lord are not to be accepted and relish, are not to be accepted and relished by all living entities. These activities are meant to attract the ordinary men towards the Lord. The Lord always acts in favor of the devotees, and therefore ordinary men who are true to workers or seekers of salvation may be attracted to the Lord when he acts as protector of devotees. So this is the secondary purpose of his appearance is to annihilate the upstarts. So that is not the primary purpose. And then this is the I think last shloka. It says that, oh my friends, please therefore Chant the glories of Lord. तस्य प्रपन्ना किल लोकपानाम् अवस्थितानामनुशासने स्व अर्थाय जातस्य यथो सु जस्या वार्तां सखे कीर्तनतीर्थकीर्ते. This is my friends, please therefore chant the glories of Lord, which is meant to be glorified in the place of pilgrimage. He is unborn, yet he appears by his causeless mercy upon the surrendered rulers of all parts of the universe. Only for their interest did he appear in the family of his unalloyed devotees, the Yadus. There are innumerable rulers all over the universe in different varieties of lands. The sun god in the sun planet, the moon god in the moon planet, Indra in the heaven, Vayu, Varuna, those in the Brahmaloka planet where Lord Brahma is living. All are obedient servants of Lord. Whenever there is any trouble in administration of innumerable planets in different universes, the rulers pray for an appearance and the Lord appears. The Bhagavatam has already confirmed this in the following verses. एते चांसकला पुंसा कृष्णस्य भगवान स्वयं इंद्रार्व्याकुलं लोकं मृडयन्ति युगे युगे. The purpose of pilgrimage is to remember the Lord constantly. Okay. So the purpose of pilgrimage is more we go pilgrimage, more we can. Therefore, the Lord is known as Tirtha Kirti. The purpose of going to pilgrimage is to get the chance to glorify the Lord. Now people go to pilgrimage because they want to have a change. They want to take more selfies. Even today, although times have changed, there are still pilgrimage sites in India. For example, in Mathura and Vrindavan, where we had a chance to stay, people are awake from early in the morning at 4 a.m. up until night time, but are constantly engaged some way or other in chanting the holy glories of the Lord. The people come, they don't do much all this chanting. They go take darshan. They are searching for nice hotels to eat food, nice restaurants to eat, and then they want to just be chill. But it is not for that. Vrindavan is for sadhana. We have to go to Vrindavan means we have to search for a nice place where we can sit and hold a chant. Seeing many places will not make any much difference. We can see one time, two time. But more important, when we are going to that place, it's not for seeing the place. When we going that place, we have to sit there and chant. If you are say Govardhan Parikrama, we are going for chanting in front of Govardhan, not to see places. Even if you are going to see any nice place like Chandra Sarovar or Nandghat or Suryakund, we are going there not to see the place. We go there to chant at that place. Chant for half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, like that. That will that is the purpose of going to that, not for seeing that, for praying there. The beauty of such a pilgrimage site is that automatically one remembers the holy glories of the Lord, his name, fame, qualities, form, pastimes, antaraj, and all identical to. Therefore, chanting the glories of Lord invokes the personal presence of Lord. Anytime or anywhere, pure devotees meet and chant the glories of Lord. The Lord is present without any doubt. It is said that Lord Himself, that he always stays where his devotees chant his glory. So the purpose of any pilgrimage is to remember the Lord, to chant the holy names. We should, when we go for pilgrimage, our quality of chanting should improve. Our sadhana will improve. More we are eager to chant. So that is the purpose, and that's how we should. Uh, Means we have to prepare ourselves like that before going only. That let me go and chant more. If we prepare our mind, then it is easy. After going there to change is difficult. Before only we have prepared that I am going to holy pilgrimage as a service to improve the sadhana. It is not that because so much I am fixed up with my job, family, and all. Let me have a break. So if this is the mood of going, then it won't make much benefit. If the mood is that let me do now some service to the Lord in the Dham by chanting his name, by hearing about him, by rendering some parikrama is also service. So this is the when we have this as our purpose, then things becomes very easy in life. Otherwise, then we are not. And all the money we are saving is to go to holy pilgrimages only. We have to save money so that we are going. Saving money is not for any other things are there, some social security, some things are there, but more important is, very important part of our saving should be, so that I can, if, as many times as possible, let me go to the holy pilgrimage or stay for more time there. That is the purpose. Otherwise, why to earn so much money if we are not able to go to Vrindavan and stay there and chant the holy name? There is no point. For us, especially, that should be the purpose and goal, and we should develop such desires. Then other desires. Otherwise, if you are not developing desire for Vrindavan, then we'll develop a desire. Let me have a big bungalow in this nice city, and let me have two, three houses in this city. We are investing here only more and more because wherever we invest, our consciousness goes there. If we are want Vrindavan, then our consciousness is there. Otherwise, it is houses in the city, and which society I will have a nice house, which society. So our consciousness gets stuck, which is not very safe. We don't want to get stuck. We want our, and it's not that if you purchase something in Vrindavan, our consciousness is Vrindavan. But the point is, it's not purchasing Vrindavan, but we have to invest our consciousness in Vrindavan. That is the point. Any questions, comments? We happily completed first chapter of that. Okay. So we will start the second chapter, at least few shlokas we can do. Sukavacha iti bhagavata prishta kshattara vartam priyashrayam prativaktum na odseha ava aukantya smarteshwaraha. This is that Sudhya Goswami said, when the great devotee Budra was asked by Vidra to speak on the message of the dearest Lord Krishna, Uddhava was unable to immediately do due to excessive anxiety at the remembrance of Lord. So, here Vidra asked so many questions about. Yeah, when we go to Puri, our mindset is to think about chant and seva. Yes. It's all, any holy place is that only. We are going holy places for that purpose. Chant, hear, serve. We are meant to serve. So we are not meant for enjoying. We don't go holy place, nice hotel, nice restaurants. We want to stay little comfortable, but that's not the purpose. We comfortable so that we can sit and chant. We want to have good hotel, neat and clean, and some good food so that our mind does not disturb with food, so that we get more time for sitting and chanting, sitting and hearing. And now Vidra asked many questions. What about my friends and relatives? What about the Vrishnis, Yadu dynasty? What about Pandavas? Now he asked. Uddhava is not able to speak only now. He became so emotional. That's what is happening to Uddhava. So the questions are very simple. It's not very any. They are not philosophical questions that are asked. He's asking about the personalities now. So as soon as he asked about the personalities, then because Vidura is a very important person, because of him Dhritarashtra was delivered, and he plays a big role in the life of the Pandavas. That's why Parikshit Maharaj want to know about Vidura, because he's such an important person, because all of them they left. Bhishma offered prayers, left. Kunti Maharani left. Pandavas left. Now they want to know about Vidura, what inspired him, because he took sannyas. So they are really eager. Parikshit Maharaj is eager about him to know. And same thing with Savanaka Rishis also. They are also eager to know about Vidura, because he is a very important personality. Hmm. All of them have left. So now who is remaining is Vidura. He also lives actually, but they want to know more about him, what inspired him and how he did. See, he was one who even in his childhood, at the age of 5, was so absorbed in the service of Lord Krishna that when he was called by his mother for morning breakfast, he did not wish to have. So this is very famous shloka. Yat panchahanayo matra pratra ashra yachati na nisched rachayan yasya sparsh sperma sat saprayam bala leelaya. This is a very important, nice purport also, and many people quote about Uddhava this. So we'll discuss this. Uh, just we'll read the purport. From his very birth, Uddhava was natural devotee of Lord Krishna or a Nitya Siddha or liberated soul. Or from natural instinct, he used to serve Lord Krishna even in his childhood. He used to play with his dolls in the form of Krishna. He'd serve the dolls by dressing, feeding, and worshipping them. Thus, he was constantly absorbed in the play of transcendental realization. These are the signs of an eternally liberated soul. An eternally liberated soul is a devotee of Lord who never forgets him. Human life is meant for reviving one's eternal relationship with the Lord, and all religious injunctions are meant for awakening this dormant instinct of living entry. The sooner this awakening is brought about, the quicker the mission of human life is fulfilled. In a good family of devotees, the child gets the opportunity to serve the Lord in many ways. A soul who is already advanced in devotional service has the opportunity to take birth in such an enlightened family, as confirmed Bhagavad Gita, Suchinam Simatagehe Yoga Brashtovya. Even the fallen devotee gets the opportunity to take birth in the family of a well situated Brahmana or a rich, well to do merchantine family. In both these families, there is a good opportunity to revive one's sense of consciousness, God consciousness automatically, because particularly in these families, the worship of Lord Krishna is regularly performed and the child gets the opportunity to imitate the process of worship called Archana. The Pancharatriki formula for training person in devotional service in temple worship, whereby the neophyte gets the opportunity to learn devotional service to the Lord. Maharaj Parikshit also used to play with Krishna dolls in child. In India, the children in good families are still given dolls of Lord Rama and Krishna, or sometimes the demigods, so that they may develop the apti- mm, aptitude of service to the Lord. By grace of Lord, we are given the same opportunity by our parents, and beginning of our life was based on this principle. So even Prabhupada also got other Govinji deities and he used to perform Rath Yatra. This is a very important principle. All the parents should know how to train the children. Prabhupada is giving, and with the example of Uddhava, that the training that should give. Now everybody gets mobile from childhood, and they show them the cartoons of Krishna, stories of Krishna, and some other Ramayana, Mahabharata. But problem is that there is a desire to enjoy in that. There is no desire to serve. But if you have dolls of Radha Krishna or something, and the child is offering them something, doing arati to them, there is a service there. But when he is watching in a movie or some serial or some cartoon, he is enjoying them. So there is no desire to serve. So it won't make it's not actually good. They should not enjoy. They should serve. But the TV and all mobiles, people think that they're showing the children nice cartoons of Krishna. Future they'll become nice devotees of Krishna. No, they are only enjoying. So the mentality of enjoying is only continued. It is not solving the problem anyway. They may hear about the name of Krishna, but even that is also not very high quality, because it is made by some non-devotees. It will not make much difference. They think, "Arey, whole I so much helped my children to see the stories of Krishna. They saw all Ramayana, they saw all Mahabharata, but still they are behaving like Ravana only. They are not behaving like Rama, because you only gave them the desire to enjoy. You did not train them to serve. But when we give the dolls of Krishna and all, purpose is to make Rath Yatras, is to make them serve, offer them and all. And that will make a difference in the life of children. They need to serve. Previously, it was nice without smartphones, smart TVs. We didn't have option only. We had to, if I want to meet my friend, I cannot call him. I cannot stay in my room alone. There is no what I will do in the room. I just have to go out, play with my friends, and there is a personal relationships and all this. No, there are no much personal relation. Even in the family house, everybody is their mobile. That time there was no mobile. Even if when they were small, TV, the programs are also very limited. You cannot all the time play the TV and watch also. Then what is there? Then there is relation among the peoples, no, which is not there. The same thing, there should be relation with the Lord, but it does not happen with smartphones. It happens when we serve. We'll take one more purpose. Uddhava thus served the Lord constantly from childhood and his old age. That attitude of service never slackened. As soon as he was asked about the message of Lord, he at once remembered all about him. Purport. The transcendental service to Lord is not mundane. The service attitude of a devotee gradually increases and never becomes slack. And generally, in old age, a person is allowed retirement from mundane service. But in the transcendental service of Lord, there is no retirement at all. On the contrary, the service attitude increases more and more with the progress of age. In the transcendental service, there is no satiation and therefore there is no retirement. Materially, when a person becomes tired by rendering service in his physical body, he is allowed retirement. But in the transcendental service, there is no feeling of fatigue because it is spiritual service and is not on the bodily plane. Service on the bodily plane dwindles as the body grows older, but the spirit is never old, and therefore on the spiritual plane, the service is never tiresome. Uddhava undoubtedly became old, but that does not mean that his spirit became old. His service attitude matured on the transcendental plane, and therefore, as soon as he was questioned by Vidura about Lord Krishna, he at once remembered his Lord by reference to the context and forgot himself on the physical plane. That is a sign of pure devotional service to the Lord, as will be explained later on. Lakshanam Bhakti Yogasya in Kapila's instruction to his mother Devati. Samor समूर्तम् अभूततूष्णी कृष्णाङ्घ्रि शुद्धया वृषम् तीव्रेण भक्तियोगेन निमग्नं साधु निर्वितः. This is for a moment he remained dead silent, and his body did not move. He became absorbed in the nectar of remembering Lord's lotus feet in devotional service, and he appeared to be going increasingly deeper into ecstasy. On the inquiry of Vidra about Krishna, Uddhava appeared to be awakened from slumber. He appeared to regret that he has forgotten the lotus feet of Lord. Thus he again remembered the lotus feet of Lord and remembered all his transcendental loving service unto him, and by so doing he felt the same ecstasy that he used to feel in the presence of Lord. Because the Lord is absolute, there is no difference between his remembrance and his actual presence. Thus Uddhava remained completely silent for a moment. But then he appeared to be going deeper and deeper into ecstasy. Feeling of ecstasy are displayed by highly advanced devotee of Lord. There are 8 kinds of transcendental changes: the body, tears, shivering of the body, perspiration, restlessness, throbbing, choking of the throat, etc. And all these manifested by Uddhava in the presence of. Okay, we will, because so many shlokas per day. We will do it slowly. I will try to. This is remembrance of Lord Krishna. This is a very nice chapter. We'll try to elaborately discuss some of the points. Thank you all very much. Mantra